And we're live! Woo! We made
It's
it
Hello,
again.
alive.
have a nice Sunday.
We're here. It's a Sunday. No one here is going to church. Instead, we're going to play the most satanic game that has ever been made. I, of course, as always, Francis, the local satanic priest. My pronouns are she, her, and my goal for today is, gosh, what's my goal for today? I'm guessing I would like to see you all, there's an encounter I would like to get you guys to, and I want to see your reaction.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and Antia, since you say uh-oh, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and your character?
So yeah, I am the local choir boy, Seti. Like if we're going in the theme of the satanic church. Um, Pronouns he, him, and my goal for today is to talk to everyone who wants to talk to me.
And to not disappoint mommy.
And not disappoint mommy, never.
Absolutely not. Mommy, I mean, cool stuff, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Kulsta. I'm playing as Stacy, pronoun she, her for me and Stacy. I was really intelligent with that. And my goal for today is to find a way how to not faint in the presence of many, many snakes and ask for a medicine. So a poor, sad, and not so healthy toad will survive.
Aww.
Outstanding. We support all kinds of amphibians here, be they small tadpole Satanists or large sick toads. And last but definitely not least, Danny, why don't you talk about yourself and Flora?
I'm Danny, pronoun she, they. Flora, I play Flora, pronouns she, her, an elf ranger, and I think my goal today is to check on Xavier. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name.
You can just say that there's Flora's accent.
Javier,
Yeah.
or...
Well,
Javier.
I get confused because there's Javier, which is with a J, and then there's Xavier with an X.
It's pronounced the same in Spanish, and it's Javier.
Okay,
Like the
I
whole
get
H.
confused. I think Yeah. And probably also try to get a bit closer to see if she can get any closer to finding the person she's been looking for all campaign.
Amazing. So, speaking of which, I'm just going to talk about what we did last session. Last session, we had a bit of a wrap up for the events before. The campaign, of course, started with our four main heroes in the dungeon of a city that was in the middle of an apocalypse. They got out of the dungeon, they entered the apocalypse. They found at the center of it all was a small, well, a medium-sized blue glowing lamp that appears to enable the travel and communication between the planes. Unfortunately, it malfunctioned and summoned a bunch of monsters, causing a great deal of death and destruction. And you were all sent actually on your own quests to come to the city and just ended up in the apocalypse by accident, and you just wrapped this up last session. Stacy came to help out a druidic circle on behalf of her former teacher. Sassetti talked to his old to the leader of a criminal organization that he used to work for, who is kind of his mother figure, who doesn't like him very much but is trying to make amends. And Flora has been making has put a lot of effort to find somebody they are looking for, and has actually found some solid leads, along with the assistance of an ancient silver dragon who is leading the druid circle that Coolstar visited. Um, we found ourselves now back with Sassetti, who is now following up on a lead that he got from the street urchin who visited his own room, and you are now, Sassetti, outside the city,
And
somewhere
meanwhile,
near the
Stacy and
fort.
Flora have flower wood time together.
Yes, this is happening at the same time as them visiting the Druidic Circle. So you can see it's kind of a late afternoon. You can see the forest nearby. You're mostly surrounded by acres and fields, and there's a little brook with some stones and a campsite and a very large familiar loxodon sitting next to it.
Hmm. I approach the campfire and bow.
You bow, and you need to give me please a dexterity saving throw.
You bow down, but maybe you get up again.
Nope. Oh god. That's a
Um,
6.
you faster than you would think, faster than definitely than Seti notices. There's a there's there's a knife being thrown at you that impales your collar, but just misses your neck by a hair.
Ow.
You've gone slow, boy.
Rude. Is that how you say hi these days?
Oh, I'm just testing you. I've heard you've been through quite a lot lately. I'd hoped that maybe you'd gotten a little better at this whole monk thing.
I would hope so as well. But for as
Um,
far as you think I've gotten, I still have a lot to learn.
Very well. You can keep the knife. Please sit down. And he indicates the mat next to him.
I sit down.
So I take it you've gotten my letter.
I've gotten your child.
Ah, yes. Good, good kid, that one. Ah, well. Say, you may have noticed this, but things are changing around the city.
Hmm. In what way do you mean? Besides the obvious hurricane of magic.
I believe it was just the first chapter, the epilogue, the prologue, if you will, of an even greater story. And I think you will be in the center of it.
I'm not sure if I like that idea.
I figured you mightn't, but I know you're also selfless, and I think you will be up to the challenge. Disregarding any knives stuck in collars. He takes out a piece of bread, breaks it in half, and gives you one of them.
Hmm. Selfless, you say? I'm not sure if the latest decisions I've been taking have been as selfless as you hope they might be.
Hmm. Give me an insight check.
Uh, there should be wisdom, but I'm not sure if I'm proficient in that. Nope. Ah, that's 15.
You realize now that for the past couple of years, all the decisions you've been making have not really been proactive on your part. You've just kind of reacted to the way things developed. You getting kicked out of the sanctum, you leaving the company of Gej, who is sitting next to you now, kind of becoming a vigilante in the city, kind of becoming a little bit famous in your own right and honing your skills as a monk. But you've only ever done it to keep yourself from becoming static, because in reality you don't actually know what to do. You don't have any plans regarding your future. But perhaps, as Gash said, the the vortex, the lamp, meeting the archmage and all that, being let back into the sanctum, these are all signs of changes to come. That maybe for all this time you were just a larva of the person or creature you might turn into. And Gersh says, well, I think I think the best parts are yet to come, and I have no doubt that you will make the right decisions. Mm.
What do you know anything about a blue lamp?
Mm. Straight to business, aren't we? Well, I was hoping we could just catch up on the past couple of years, see how we've been doing. I haven't talked to you in quite a while, but we can do that later, I suppose.
My apologies. How have you been?
So rude.
Well, I've been troubled.
Troubled.
In no small part thanks to that lamp you mentioned. And really, well, I do love meeting up with my old student again and talking about what has happened, what has transpired, where we've been, what we've been up to. I have also called upon you to ask a favor.
A favor, you say?
What, sir? You see that lamp? I'm afraid your mother has had her eyes on it for quite some time, and I don't think she intends to do anything wholesome with it. In fact, I think she might have had to do something with last night's events. And he takes out a can of tea and fills a little cup with it and passes it to you. And fills it for himself. But I don't have any proof that she was. Except one single lead, and I need you to investigate it for me.
Mm-hmm.
No questions? No questions to my own motives? You're just ready to accept this, are you?
I have the feeling that learning someone's motives by asking them is not gonna give me a straight answer.
Hey, Flamer.
Hey, Flamers. Give me a persuasion check, please.
Perception. Not insight, perception.
No, persuasion.
Persuasion, sorry. What's the other thing with a P? Ooh! The less I'm good at it, the better my rolls are apparently. That's an 18.
Gersh takes a deep sip. Hmm. Ain't that the truth? Very well. I happen to know of a child who's been in contact with the Sanctum lately. And I happen to know that this child used to live in the outer city of Infernito. I also know that it was quite close with a librarian whose library was recently, well, reduced to nothing but ash. I'm fearing the connections here. I need you to find that child and interrogate him, unfortunately.
Do you have any idea what the child looks like?
Hmm. Appears to be some kind of Monty, much like you. Shorter, of course, paler. Doesn't seem to be from around here. I've got some notes here, and he passes you a little scroll with a little drawing and some notes. Apparently he's not been seen since, but it is hard for me to enter this city. And I would just get lost. You, however, have been living here for most of your life.
I do wonder. For now, I have now have 3 figures of authority, all converging on the matriarch. Well, the matriarch included, of course. One
Matriarch
wants
is
me to work
confused.
for them with the matriarch. Another wants me to steal the lamp, and now you want me to investigate her.
Mm. I don't think that the path you have chosen will... Well, let me put it this way. I think that maybe in the end you're not going to have to choose at all. Because it might all just lead to the same goal. Mostly I'm just wondering whether this lamp might not have a purpose of... an intention of its own. Maybe it wanted to be captured. Maybe it wanted people to fight over it. Who knows?
Do you
Come again,
do you
please.
believe in gods?
Gods?
Gods.
Ah,
Outside influences, higher beings.
of course. They are very real. I've met... I've met 1 or 2 demons in my time. Real as well as metaphorical. He puts down the tea. Why do you ask?
The events of last days, the threats that are coming. Either I'm not smart enough or there's no pattern yet. I feel like something wants to impose chaos. So I was wondering what haggles in chaos.
Chaos. Well, there are many planes that are chaotic. Many outside entities that crave chaos and thrive on it. But I feel like we might have to look inward this time. I think the threat we're facing is quite close. Of course, we can't be sure until we know for sure. Sorry. Of course, we can't be sure until we know with certainty, and that is why I need you to investigate. Find the child, City.
Save the
Ask him
cheerleader,
what he
save
was
the
doing
world.
in the library at night. Excuse me?
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
Well, we'd all do what we must. Remember that time we were camping at a cliff and I fell down and you caught me?
That was the only time where that happened in that way and not the reverse.
Yeah, and remember what you said to me that day?
Did I even speak that day?
You said, "My, you're as heavy as the world." So how about that?
I really thought I only said that internally.
Hmm. Well, you were quite young then.
Implying I'm old now, you old fart.
He laughs at this. Well, well, well. By all means, tell me about what has happened over the past years, and do have some of my provisions. I was just about to stock up again. And as soon as you're ready and have something for me, I will find ways of contacting you again. And unless you have anything more to say, City, I'd say we end the scene at that point, and you just spend the rest of the evening with the old master.
Yep, that's fine for me.
Okay, cool. City, um, could you add something to your inventory, please?
Ooh.
1 second. Just need to find.
Oh, I just remembered I might wanted to ask a thing, but I don't know if that's info I have or not.
Yeah, just a moment. I'm just gonna have to look at this one stat block. Word Amber is a bit slow today. Okay, you can ask.
Does Seti know about Lady Liar or only Flora?
So far only Flora and Fira know about that.
Alright, no, then never mind.
So, I'm just going to put it in roll 20. It's a piece of armor.
Alright.
Clothes. And as you return to the matriarch tonight, you see one of the operatives already standing waiting for you while she is deep in conversation with some other operatives, and they just hand you what seems to be like a small cloth square, but when you fold it open, you see it's actually an entire like body tight suit with many pockets and little armored pads.
It has pockets.
It's very form fitting. It's very comfortable. It makes you look kind of scary.
I imagined the green suit from Naruto, which Might Guy has.
Ugh. When you said green suit, I was imagining Identity suit.
Yeah.
I know. It looks like you remember the illustrations I sent of Goran. They're wearing a similar thing like that, but theirs doesn't have a belly. So yeah. I mean, yours
belly.
can also be belly free if you want.
No, I
You want
want
to show
the
some
belly.
abs.
Seti
belly?
will be a belly dancer.
Haha.
And yeah, you're given this by one of the operatives as you turn to stay with Xissa for the night. So that is your task.
Does
And,
Inxissa have a reaction when I show up in the armor?
she barely notices you as you come in, as she's busy with primetime guests coming in,
Fair enough.
coming from their shifts or whatever jobs they've been doing. But she gets one good look at you, does a double take, and then smiles at you as she returns to her work, and you go to bed.
Alright.
And of course, you also see that Matea, the bard, is still undercover as a barmaid, helping out your sister. The cat, Not Tom, is also here. She's kind of running around between chairs, getting pets from the occasional guest, fighting with little bullets. And seems to be really feeling at home here.
She's not with Stacy.
No?
Or he's... them, they're not. I've
She's
not
not.
checked out Not Tom.
That's okay. And if that is all you want to do for today, I would actually like to cut over to
To the girls in the forest.
Two
One girl in
girls
the
sitting in the
forest specifically.
forest.
I
Two
was gonna ask
5 inch
Flora.
apart because they're totes gay.
Wow. Flora, you actually got some leads that you could reasonably pursue before the day is over, which is that you know about a farmstead, an abandoned farmstead outside in the countryside that where the person you were looking for was staying before they left.
Oh, I can go there.
You can go there, and you can take Stacy with you if you want.
I'll ask Stacy if she wants to come.
If you feel comfortable that I go with you, then I will follow you.
Friendship
Aw.
is magic. So, you pass out of the city. You pass one of the guards who asks you if you need any kind of escort. You decline, of course, because you don't really want anyone else to be around for this. Um, you follow the road. You follow the details given to you in the reports. You look at the little map, and at around dusk, you do find a little house next to an abandoned field out nearby a road. It doesn't seem to be that old. It hasn't been abandoned for more than 2 years. Of course, 1 year ago, the person you're looking for came through here, and there it is, out in the countryside.
I guess I'll go knock on the door.
So you do. As you do that, please give me a perception check.
Perception.
Because I can keep describing the house here. It's
Uh,
made out of
d- d-
red. It's made out of red brick.
that
can
would
see,
be an 18.
An 18. You can see it's made of red brick. The windows are made out of broken glass. The um the the straw roof seems to have like a hole in it that was barely fixed by someone. And as you look at the door, you actually see a little insignia scratched into it.
Can Stacy go to the window and check it?
Yes, before you do, the insignia is a symbol that would be familiar to you. It's in Sylvan, and it says, "To whom it may concern."
Wait, Stacy can't read Sylvan.
You
I
can't,
thought-
but you can. I'm telling you this.
Oh, okay.
Stacy, you look into the window and you see only darkness. Please also give me a perception check.
Oof.
Yep.
It's just
Nothing.
dark.
For a moment, you think you can see one of those shoggoths that attack the druidic circle, and when you do a double take, it's gone.
Then I return back to Flora.
Flora, by
Since
the
I
way,
only saw darkness.
you only saw darkness, and Flora, you didn't get a reply. You also noticed that the door was the hinges weren't properly attached. It gave a lot.
I'm gonna go inside then and like check the insignia a bit more.
Well, the insignia just says "to whom it may concern."
There's nothing else nearby it.
Nothing else nearby it. It's just a door, and it says "to whom it may concern."
Can I go look around inside?
Absolutely. And as you step inside, you can see you can feel motes of dust coming out to greet you as air gets pushed out or the dust gets pushed out. You can actually smell something kind of dank and fungus-y. As you notice, the roof of the ceiling actually has a very fuzzy black fungus growing on it. It kind of looks like fur.
Do I know which kind of fungus this is?
Yes, one moment.
I can do a nature check for you if you want.
You can definitely give me a nature check, but I still have to look up what it is.
I can also give you a nature check.
If you want.
Oh, why not?
So,
I got a 12.
so. Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, I'm the wisdom girl and not the intelligence girl.
I didn't
Yes,
roll
absolutely. With a
super well for
17,
nature. I
with a
got
7,
6 plus 6.
12.
Yeah.
Flora, you know with a 12 that this is kind of like a moss or lichen that grows in like wet and dank places, which is interesting since this is like a pretty dry, warm hut. You can also see it kind of uh, growing near the bed and the pantry, all of which is abandoned by the way. Like there's no food left, no people, maybe a few traces of animals who came in and out of here. And Stacy, you actually know that this is in fact ghost moss. Ghost moss only grows in the presence of. Wait. You know that it is highly sensitive to light, which makes sense, seeing as you are in a very dark place. It would grow here. You can actually see where the light that you let in through the door is hitting the moss. It actually starts melting a little bit. And it's said that it only grows in the presence of spirits, mostly of spirits of people who are murdered.
Okay. I say to Flora, we should close the door. The light is not good for this kind of moss, and I think some spirits have not met a really nice ending in here because this is ghost moss.
Okay, so Flora will close the door.
You want to close the door?
Yeah.
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Roll for door.
Roll door.
Do I have my proficiency or no?
You can add your proficiency. You're a ranger.
Okay. So 18 plus 6.
That's a 24, baby.
Yeah,
Ooh.
24.
And yeah. You know this little creature jumping at your face, but it just misses. As you turn around to face it, you actually see a little bird-like creature with a reptilian snout looking up at you and barking. It does not seem to be attacking you, but it is very displeased with you being here.
I'm guessing you don't know how to talk to animals, do you?
You do. How about that?
I do?
No, Stacy does.
Oh,
Stacy does.
Okay, Stacy, do you want to cast it on yourself?
Yes, I want to cast it.
And what do you want to say to the little creature?
Sorry, we came into your little abode here. We didn't meant to destroy anything. Do you happen to know from other creatures which were around here?
What are you doing in my home? Get out! Can't you see I'm trying to grow some moss here? You know how hard it is to grow this moss? You have no idea, lady. Oh, you're in trouble. Let me tell you, you're in trouble. But, well, no. Well, not since the old owner was killed.
I'm sorry that we destroyed a little bit of your moss. We already close the door again. I'm highly sorry. I did not recognize the moss. When I looked into it, I only saw darkness. I'm sorry, my eyesight, half elves, they are not so good at this. And so the old owner, do you happen to know like a time frame when this was? Was it just recently for you, or is it a little bit longer?
I don't know. I'm only 2 years old. My mom tells me though that the previous owner, who was her owner, used to keep a little dinosaur farm here. Like we had little shield heads with little beaks and horns coming out of their faces. Anyway, for some reason or other, the business went under, and then it appears she was murdered. And this was 5 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you very much for this information. I will quickly translate this to my friend. So
Yeah.
Stacy turns to Flora and explains the little story that there was a dinosaur farm here, and the owner, which is probably not the person she's looking for, got killed here. So this explains the ghost moss. And Stacy asks Flora, "Is there anything I should ask the creature in your stead? I know you are a little bit private about that, so I don't want to go too far, but yeah, I could try to ask."
Flora gives like a small breath of relief, like realizing it's not the person. Likely that was her person. What she's looking for wasn't murdered here, at least not yet. And then she says, you can ask them if they've seen a woman with periwinkle eyes and dirty blonde hair and dark skin.
Stacy turns back to the little creature and asks the creature if they have seen the person in question.
Like an elf kind of thing. I don't know. I see like 5 of those pass by the road outside the door like each day. I don't know. There's 1 year ago, about a cloaked figure came in here. They didn't talk much. They just sat here to get in to be safe from the outside. And as they did, that night, the most horrifying thing happened. It was like a large bird thing was stalking around outside looking for her, but it wouldn't come inside. It's the weirdest thing. And when I tried to confront the intruder, she fed me bacon and told me that it's all right and that the moss will protect me. So ever since, I've been trying to keep this place dark and safe from the light. Because that bird was very scary.
Thank you very much for your information. Is there anything you might need? Maybe I have something I can give you in return.
I don't know. There's this piece of canvas. Well, not canvas. This weird carved figure. It doesn't really fit with the decor, and I think she wanted it to be passed down to somebody. And it points its snout at a little carved wooden figure that's on the bedside table.
Stacy turns to Flora. You might look to this carved figure because this could be from the person you're looking for. The creature told me that they were here, but only to seek shelter, and a big bird type flew over. So maybe we already noticed a big bird type. They could be in connection.
Because we did see that. I saw a shadow, like that big shadow. There was that big bird with fiery earlier when we were at the docks.
Yeah, correctly. I was thinking of that too. Maybe those are the same type of birds at least.
Mm-hmm. So did they say they wanted something in exchange for the wooden figure?
No, they really just mentioned that this figurine it does not really match their decor, and we should maybe take a look. I mean, before we take it, I can ask the creature again if it's really okay. But we need to look out that we don't destroy the moss.
I'll go over and look at the wooden figure.
You go over to the wooden figure, you can see it actually, it appears to show a bird. Not unlike the bird you just described, it appears to be like a large corvid, or just a regular corvid. It's very, like, simplified, very stylized, and it has, on its backside, it has some words in Sylvan carved into it.
Can't read what it says in Sylvan.
It's a bit dark in here, so you might have to step outside beforehand.
Okay. I'll look to Stacy to double check that's okay, and once she gives me all the okay, I'll take this wooden carving.
I turn back to the little creature and ask, "Is it really okay that we take it? My companion is really interested in taking the figurine with her."
It started cleaning its clawed foot while you were talking. It's like gnawing at a feather that's hard to get out, and then looks back at you and says, "Oh yeah, and please leave."
I turn back to Flora. "Yes, it's okay that we take it."
Okay. I'll take the wooden figurine and then carefully leave out the door, very trying to open it the slightest bit as to avoid letting as little as light as I can before exiting.
Good. And as you both leave the creature behind, you step into the light, Flora, and you can look at the bird in your hands. Actually see that it's made out of a very strange, tough, white wood.
Can I now see what's written, or is it still too dark?
You can, in fact, read it. And what you read is, So, it says, once again, to whom it may concern, and underneath it's like a little poem. And it reads, "In the earth's mouth, a dragon holds a dreary watch. When the sky turns pink, find me on the world's teeth." And that's it. It's all it says. It's not a very big word. It's not a very big bird. You can't really carve a lot of words into it.
Stacy.
You recognize the handwriting. Well,
Okay.
rather.
I want to turn to Flora and ask her, "Can I have a look at the figurine? I know a few things about wood carving, so I'd like to see the not marksmanship, craftsmanship. If you're okay with it, I know it's rather personal, this thingy, so I don't want to intrude or so."
Go for it, and I carefully hand it over. As long as you give it back.
Of course. I'm really just interested in the wood itself and how it was carved. And you see Stacy holding it in different angles and nods a bit and says, "Oh yeah, this is really nice for this small of a figurine," and carefully hands the
Stacy,
figurine back.
Before you pass back the figurine, Stacy, please give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Are you going back?
I needed Constitution.
That's charisma.
Oh, Constitution. Oh.
Oof.
Saved, maybe. don't know.
As you look into the bird's eyes, you notice that you blink, and for some reason they are black, pitch black.
Ooh.
And as you blink again, you expect it to just be like some kind of illusion. Maybe you're just tired, but no, the eyes remain black. And as they do, they stare into your eyes, and you can feel the air inside your mouth getting very cold all of a sudden, and a twitching at the back of your neck. And there's something not quite right about this bird.
I hand the figurine back to Flora and say, I don't know if it's just my imagination, but somehow the eyes appeared black to me, and maybe it's also just the gift I got from the dragon, but my mouth feels so cold all of a sudden, so maybe it's just a little bit time diluted reaction or so. And yeah, I don't know. Somehow my stomach says maybe there's something off about it. I'm not quite sure what we should make of it, but I know it's important to you, so it's totally your call what we do with this.
I'm going to pull out my knife
Yes.
and I'm going to stab the eyes
Ooh.
of the figurine.
That's a very interesting.
That's
thing to do.
rude.
Yeah, why don't you give me another wisdom saving throw, since you love doing those?
Stacy's a little bit shocked by the sudden violence.
The violence, yeah.
Should I use my proficiency with wisdom?
No.
Okay.
I mean, actually, yeah. Go use your proficiency.
Okay.
No.
So that would be
You get
a
advantage
19.
because it is in fact a charm effect. 19?
Yeah.
Is that with advantage?
No.
Roll again, please.
Yeah, 19 is still better.
You try to stab at the eyes, and as you look at the bird, which looks completely normal to you, you feel like, hey, this is a very special bird. Someone who's very important to me made it. I shouldn't stab it. And so you don't. And you put your knife back where it was.
Okay, I guess I'll just put away the bird then.
You put the bird in your bag where it belongs. And yes. That concludes our little quest out here in the countryside. You leave the Velociraptor and his little hut to themselves. And you learned a valuable lesson about cultivating moss. If there's anything else to do, if there isn't anything you'd like to do for the rest of the night, I'd say you both return to the places you were staying at before.
Actually, I want to go to see Xavier. Javier.
Yes.
Charles Javier.
Stacey, what do you want to do, Stacey?
Flora, does Stacy know what you want to do, or are we just parting ways? Because I would be set in mind that I would go back to the taverna.
I'll just tell Stacy, I should probably go meet up with my associate. If you want to come, you can, but I know you have your own things going on.
I'm not quite sure if I should, because I'm not so good with my faces, let's say it like that, and Javier also has those black eyes, and we got the information that we should be wary about them. So I'm pretty sure you have things under control. I will go back to the taverna and look out what the cat is doing.
What a cat doing?
What is the cat doing?
I'll meet you up later when we go try to hunt the monster the little Prince Lane wants us to hunt. Maybe I'll see if I can scrounge up some more information on it.
Sounds good. Take care, Flora.
Take care, Stacy.
And as you return to the city, each of you on your own way, Stacy goes further down to the Undercity, to the familiar sounds of the taverna that Ixis has running. She greets you with a curt nod, and you find your room still where it was, still available to you. The cat does run up to you and cuddle up against you as you fall asleep. You, however, Flora, you go up. You go up into Las Arcadas, the noble district, and to the old villa where you found the door has since been repaired and replaced with a new one. And you, I presume, knock on the door.
Yes, I knock on the door because I have manners.
You have manners, and the door basically opens immediately. But the person standing in front of you is not Javier. Instead, it is a very tall elf with a very neat, like, kind of suit, coat, goes all the way down, like the tail goes all the way down to his knees. He has got very fine riding boots. You can tell he's wearing like shaded spectacles that are like small and black, covering his eyes so you can't really see them. And you notice his hair, which is black all the way through, doesn't have a single white streak. And he says, "Wow, hello there. Welcome." Wait, no. What does he say? He says, "Well, hello there."
Sorry, I thought this was Javier's. I didn't mean to disturb you.
Absolutely no worries, darling. Our good friend Javier is just in the kitchen preparing a dinner for us. I was in the area, just thought I'd stop by. And he just for you to come in.
I step in, sorry, I don't think I've been introduced to you before.
Oh, you wouldn't have, but trust me, our benefactor, makes us. Wait. Our benefactor would have introduced us soon enough. It appears that you are in fact the reason I am here.
What is the reason and what exactly is that reason?
I don't know. I don't really have her name yet. Would you mind giving it to me?
I don't really give names. That's not my thing.
Clever. Then we shall just say it. Then we shall just keep it as ma'am, madam, and my lord, because I am in fact a lord, much like your good friend Javier. And I think we will be fast friends soon enough. By the way, through all this time, you can't help but notice he doesn't stop smiling, and he has very sharp white teeth.
Now I feel really sorry that I left Flora on her own.
He just kind of sits down in the lounging area on one of the big settees, and you can see on the wall there's a long black coat hanging, as well as a very beautiful, intricate longbow and a quiver that is made from some kind of black leather. And as he sits down and picks up a book to read, you can see Javier is actually coming out of the kitchen with a tray of something. And he sees you and looks extremely exhausted all of a sudden.
Are you alright? You seem tired and I didn't see you at the trial, then I was concerned.
Oh, don't worry, I'm quite glad to see you. Quite glad you could join us for dinner, actually, though I'm afraid it's going to be a bit short. I guess I'll just have to eat later. Oh. Have you met Goodman yet? Have you talked to Goodman yet? He's such a good fella. And he gestures towards the man who greeted you coming in.
Talked briefly. They seem a bit... He seems a bit peculiar.
I assure you, his eccentricities only mask his chivalrous nature. You can see he manages to do a tired smile as he puts down the trays. You can see some delicious local food that Javier seems to have made himself. And see the table is already set. You've got your plates and your cutlery. As the goodman, as he's been called, chuckles and gestures for you to sit down on a chair opposite of him.
I guess I'll sit down.
Sit down. Right. Why don't you give me a wisdom check? No, insight rather. And give it to me at advantage.
Okay. Just 1 second. I'm trying to do something with music.
Yes.
Okay, insight check with advantage.
Correct. Stacy gets a dream of being a bad friend. Maybe.
So an 18 is the best one. It was a 13 and an 18 total.
With an 18, you realize that maybe in this kind of company, you should be careful what kind of food you accept from whom. And you sit down, accepting the offer to dine with them, though you haven't yet accepted any actual food. So, Flora, I see you've returned to us. Have you just come to get the rest of your things, get the rest of the documents I've prepared, or were you here to chit-chat? I'd love to know what happened at the trial today.
Well, I'm sure you heard of what happened at the trial. It's probably fairly widespread by now. You know how
Yes,
people
but you
talk.
see, I wasn't there. How was the atmosphere? How did the guard commander react to being disowned and stripped of her rank? You can see, as Javier is talking to you, asking very inquisitively, Goodman just has his head rested on one of his hands and is listening intently.
Before I answer that, let me ask you something. Why were you there? They consider you my benefactor here, so it's considered a bit peculiar when you didn't show up.
You see, the letter I had gotten from the Archmage didn't really leave much room for worry. I had figured you would be in good hands, and that you had already accepted new patronship. Besides all that, of course, I have fallen ill of late. The most peculiar thing, but I guess I must have caught a cold last night. And Danny, Flora, as you hear this, please give me an insight check.
So many insight checks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stacy would have known more.
16 plus, so that's a 19.
With a 19, you realize that that he doesn't have a cold, but he probably does have something going on with his health. Something sinister.
You don't have to lie to me, Javier. You can tell me the truth. What's really going on with your health?
And you can see his pitch black eyes go wide. I was afraid you would ask more questions like this. And he looks nervously over at Goodman, who seems to be very disinterested in the conversation right now. But he does seem to be chewing on the same piece of steak for the past 5 minutes. And as he looks at Goodman and looks back to you, he undoes his cravat and undoes a bit of his shirt, and you can actually see something that's only Stacy has seen so far, which is that the skin underneath his shirt is cracked and graying. Well, you see, our mutual benefactor has allowed me to, how do I put this? Live beyond my means. And it appears I have not made a good effort in paying him back lately. That's one of the reasons his representative is here tonight. Mr. Goodman, isn't that so? And the Goodman looks down the steak and nods. Smiling, of course, like a predatory animal.
So they're here as your replacement.
No, he is here to renegotiate. You see, his skills would be quite wasted on my post. And he indicates the bow and quiver hanging on the wall.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I kind of zoned out for a second.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well, Kara says, well, no, he's here to renegotiate with me. See, his skills would be quite wasted on my post, and he points at, the bow and quiver hanging on the wall.
And you would think I would need another archer to assist me?
Well, that is the question. It would appear you still might have some chance to fulfill your bargain with a mutual benefactor. Goodman is just here to ensure your character.
Well, I would hope our mutual benefactor would remember their end of the bargain. Because they don't get anything from me until I have found what I'm searching for.
And Goodman laughs at this, like a very deep, low chuckle. If a wolf could laugh, you imagine this is probably what it would sound like. And he says, "Very well. At least you have some spine. Can't say the same about a good friend here. Very well. I am here to check on your character. That is true. I am also here to ask you a question from our mutual benefactor, of course. See, he wants to know how Nashtu is doing. They haven't talked in quite a while.
Nashtu.
That's the dragon you met last time.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
Can you describe this being? I'm not sure if I met this being.
Please give me a deception check.
What is my deception? 15.
15. You can see, you actually see Goodman stop smiling. And he says, I am wounded that you would not be truthful with me. I thought we had an understanding, you know? One spined person to another person with a spine. Oh well. As you said, there's no need to lie. And you see the smile return, but now it's no longer amused as it was before. Now it's cold and angry.
What do you want to know about them?
Well, I've already stated my question. I wanted to know how she's doing. See, she's an old friend of our benefactors.
Uh, I feel like she spoke differently on the matter.
Oh well, you see, friends can fall out every now and then. Of course, that is no reason to to cease communication entirely. I do believe we have quite a lot to gain from one another.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Very well. I've been. A little birdie told me that besides your excursion to the forest, you've also made an excursion over to an abandoned farmstead. Find anything good?
Just some old stuff. Nothing that I think you would care too much about.
You know, you're quite pathetic at lying. Very well, if you must be like this. Mm. And he goes over to his coat and puts it on, and Xavier says, Please, please, there's no reason for this. I'm sure we can work something out. And as he tries to stumble for an answer, before you can even realize what is happening, you see a dagger sprouting from Javier's chest as he yells and is thrown off his chair by the sheer force of it. And you look back to Goodman, who has interrupted, putting on a coat, and said, "Oh, oh no, my good friend. It would appear you've committed murder." Very well, I must go. I wish you good luck on your endeavors, and should you ever call upon us, well, look for a rat. I'm sure they are about as trustworthy as you are. And he
Are you
calmly
sure
picks up
I
his...
don't need to? Can I have Flora respond quickly?
Yes, of course, sorry.
Are you sure I just don't need to look into the eyes of the wooden carving I found?
And he takes off his spectacles as you realize it's getting dark outside. You see his eyes, and as you might have expected, they're as black as the night outside. And he says, "Oh, well, the eyes of birds. What is behind them anyway? Nothing. Nothing at all." And he takes up his bow and slings it over his back, same with his quiver, and before you can really react to anything, he turns to a puff of black smoke and disappears.
So Javier's dead.
He is bleeding out on the ground right next to you at the moment, and kind of moaning in pain.
Can I use my healer's kit on him?
Yes, please give me a medicine check at disadvantage. He's in quite a rough shape, as you see. His skin is very brittle and actively flaking off.
That would be 15.
Just meets it. With that, you actually manage to staunch the bleeding, and a bit more skin comes off than you would actually like. You manage to remove the dagger safely and staunch the bleeding. It hasn't really hit any important organs. You're not quite sure if that matters, since Javier seems to be actively decomposing anyway. You can see the further down you go, the more brittle and worse it gets. His skin underneath the chest seems to just be made out of ash. And you can see there's some black vines building up around, appearing in the skin around his eyes. But the eyes are looking at you gratefully. He says,
Before
thank you.
before it's too late, because I don't think we have too much time left. Is it too late for Miss Thal?
They've been in this longer than I have, but they've always had a stronger spirit than me. They were more capable than me, too. But you don't understand. A benefactor doesn't just disregard his puppets like that. I would be back soon enough, but I wouldn't be me. And the Goodman, well, he's something altogether different. I don't think he meant to kill me. I think he just meant to implicate you in my murder. To put a little stone in your way and remind you who is in charge here. Oh well.
And so, they are tricksty.
Come again,
Can I do anything to ease your suffering?
Just fulfill your contract. It would do me a lot of good knowing that someone as kind and innocent as you has nothing to do with this. I have some more documents I found. You can look through them. You can stay here the night too. I will try. I will try not to move so much.
If you do go, or when you do go, what would you like me to do with your body?
I don't think it matters. I will just be resurrected. Maybe you should burn it.
Do you have any, should I say anything to any beings you believe into, any religious beliefs?
I don't believe in anything anymore. And he smiles at you sadly, as he tries to get up, very slowly, with your help.
If I take you to the Vico, maybe they can help you there. Powerful magic user. And, mortals love stories of, mortals being fey magic.
I'm afraid it's not that easy, and involving the Archmage might only complicate things. There are things I'm not at liberty to say about them. I was hoping that over the course of our cooperation you would find out yourself. And he slowly makes his way back to the kitchen. And you think he's trying to get out like a washing pan to take care of the plates and cutlery. He actually takes out a grimoire. And he says, you should take this to the Archmage. I'm afraid if I try to get outside help, my contract will be terminated with immediate effect. You are not included in that, since we are technically benefiting from the same person. But you may take this to them.
Okay, I'll take the grimoire then.
Please add 1 Dark Fairy Grimoire to your inventory.
Yeah. Fairy as in like the I one, or fairy as in fae?
Good question. I'd say it's probably. I'd say it says fairy with an E. As in fae.
Okay, add it to the inventory.
Perfect. With that, you're invited to stay at Javier's house while he recovers. You can go back to the Archmage if you want. Javier will prepare like a little parcel of food and documents for you if you need anything else.
I
Uh,
think I will go to the Lycos place.
to the Archmage's place.
Yeah.
And so you do.
Can I'm very tempted to ask if I can do something.
Yay!
Can I try climbing like
Out
the
the
way I
window.
parkoured out of their window before? Can I try parkouring up that way and knocking on their window?
Yes, if you please give me an acrobatics check.
Oh, 16 plus 6.
There's a 22.
Yeah.
Evading the look of all the guards, you actually managed to scramble your way up to the window that you tried escaping from this morning. And as you get close to the window, you can actually see somebody looking at you. Somebody with a very nice wide-brimmed hat. A person you recognize. It's Fira. And she opens the window and holds out her hand and says, "Doing the same thing again, are we?"
Well, you know me. I like to climb.
Very well. And she holds out a hand for you to come back in.
Okay. So I step in.
You sneak in. Give me a perception check, please.
How many perception checks can I do in one session?
Yes.
Well, there's enough.
Oh,
There's
not
a lot.
Yeah.
20.
With a natural 20, you do realize that the same thing in Javier is now happening to Fira. You see her eyes are pitch black and there's black veins around all over her face. As she crosses her arms, you kind of get in. You dust yourself off. You see, you hear there's noises coming from the laboratory, and she smiles at you, crosses her arms, and says, "So, meet anyone interesting today?"
Interesting characters. But I'm more concerned with what's happening with you. You
That
know,
is, that is very
now
touching.
normal. Most people don't have, black veins.
And she gives you a quizzical look. Give me a persuasion check, please.
So 17 plus. So that's a dirty 20.
Well, the dirty 20. Her quizzical look turns into just a dead face, and she says, "Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't notice." And you can see the blackbird that you've seen around her hop up to her shoulder and give a little squawk in your direction as a means of greeting.
I can't glare at the bird.
As you do, you hear a familiar voice coming from the laboratory and says, "Flora, I didn't hear you get in. How did you?" And she comes in and sees you squaring off against Fira and the bird squawking at you, and they say, "Oh my, are you all right?"
It's been a day.
Very well. You are allowed to stay in my quarters for as long as you like, but if you want, I can also have some more quarters arranged for you within the palace.
Before we do that, can I speak to you privately for a moment?
And Farah hears this. She opens up her palm as a means of call, a very short waving, and just leaves the room with a bird. And Vico looks at her quizzically and says, "Well, yes, of course."
My associate wanted me to bring this to you. And
get
I
out
hand them the Dark Fairy Grimoire.
They take it, and they were kind of jovial, kind of energetic before, as you see. Sorry if you can hear that. I don't know what's happening outside. As you see the expression kind of sink into a deep pit of despair, and they say, "Flora, what is this?"
From as I can tell, it's a grimoire about the Dark Fae. He gave it because it has something to do with the benefactor of those with black eyes in the city. And I think he thought you knew something and that you could be of assistance.
Well, I most certainly can. Though I don't think I'm familiar with this particular dialect of Sylvan. I'm going
I
to
can-
have to. I'm going to have to contact somebody about this.
I can help translate it for you.
By all means. Maybe it might even be a good idea if you meet my partner in this. But I think this can wait until you're done tomorrow. You do have a big quest ahead of you, you know.
Speaking of which, you wouldn't happen to have any information on the beast the prince wants us to slay?
Vico nods and starts smiling again, and then they put the grimoire away and walk you and just for you to sit down as they put on some tea and get out a bestiary and open it up in front of you, and they point at the page. You see it's like a large lamprey eel with tentacles. It's a very academic anatomical drawing. It has some very detailed descriptions of it. You see it is a Suisquish, which is a type of aboleth, and they refer to themselves as the Draganaru. They are like aboleths. They are mostly aquatic, though they've also been known to travel like through tunnels or caves or sewers. One of the reasons they're called sewer squish is because they like settling in the sewers of Maracas. They are known for abducting children and eating them. Some people are known to become insane if they spend too much time around them. And what you also know is that they actually hail from the Far Realms, which is a place outside the Planescape.
Can I tell if they have like any weaknesses or like stuff that I can exploit?
Yeah, one moment. So please give me an investigation check.
All the
I'm
checks for
doing
Flora.
all the checks today.
I love when those dice go click, click, click.
Clickety clackety.
So,
It's time to attack it.
19. Where's my investigation? So 21.
I mean, obviously, obviously they have weaknesses. Like any creature that is that comes from, hang on, that comes from the outer planes. They are not entirely, they're not entirely physically present. So certain kinds of magic can hurt them. I'm just trying to get it. Find the damn stat block because World Anvil is loading.
This is what happens when I decide to investigate and ask questions.
I mean, finally you ask me questions, I have the answer to it. It's kind of hard to find the answer. You find out they are weak to fire damage, and as psychic creatures, they are very good at dealing psychic damage, but they are not very good at taking it. And for some reason, holy magic is also very effective against them.
So nothing we have.
don't like
Shit.
the fire arrow. I have one fire arrow, so maybe I'll go shop in the morning before for fire arrows.
Yes. And Vico looks at this and says, I think I might be able to help you. And as you settle down for the night, you can see as you head off to bed, they come back to you with 3 scrolls. Oh, 6 scrolls rather. Please add to your inventory. 2 scrolls of fireball.
Ooh.
Can I spell fireball?
I'm a fireball. Dum,
Scrolls
dum,
of
dum,
mind
dum.
rend. I can post mind rend again later. And 2 scrolls of guiding bolt. You got that?
I'm
Oh,
working on it.
guiding.
I put it in Roll20 chat. You can just copy paste
Yeah.
it.
I'm just going between the tabs slowly. Like my inventory, I have a lot of tabs open.
Of course.
I'm not sure if I know how to use scrolls like this. These kind of scrolls.
You use an action, you read them, and you use the spell they have. Unless
Okay.
it's like a spell that requires a bonus action, in which case you can use a bonus action. Like for
Okay.
example, the scroll of fireball, you would use your action to read it, and then you can cast fireball at something. It would be at base level, which I think is 3rd level, right, Ante?
Yep. Correct,
Yep.
Mundo.
It would be like I'd be like casting a 3rd level spell.
Yep. Once.
Yep.
Okay.
Once. But you do have 2 scrolls. It's the same with Mind Rend, because that's also a 3rd level spell. Guiding Bolt, I think, is just a 1st level spell.
That's
I would-
true.
I wouldn't know because I don't have either of the spells. Only
Yes, that
spells.
is why I'm telling you.
Oh, that was the wrong thing I wanted to do.
Rangers have very limited spells.
Should probably move the scene over back to the Archmage's quarters. Boop, boop.
It's time for lunch, for brunch.
Well, most of you aren't here, so.
Brunch!
Last time I nearly had the prince say it's time for an unforgettable lunch and that. Oh gosh. This is what no sleep does to you. What too little sleep rather. Well, Danny, and as soon as you've entered all that into your character sheet, I say we go for a short break.
Alright.
I believe
Perfect.
Break
Should I
time.
remove the grimoire from my inventory though?
Yes.
Because I gave it away.
Yes, remove it.
Okay. We're all good now.
Perfect.
Alright. Guess we'll see each other in 2 minutes.
Yep.
Right. In 2 minutes.
There is no sound
Like,
at the sub alert, isn't there?
there is normally a sound. Maybe my routing is not done correctly. Thanks everyone for the subscriptions. Also, look, I brought a boy.
Boy!
A boy.
Ah, boy!
Mwah.
All I see is anti arm.
He's so
Ah, there I
confused.
see.
Look at that good boy.
Look at that
Such a good
himbo.
boy.
So cute.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Taro Tanka.
Yes.
He never understands what's
orange.
happening when I do that.
Oh, are we all back then?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, in that case, I suppose we can wrap up what has happened in the Archmage's quarters. You got some nice scrolls. Seti got to shoot the shit, and Stacy got to accompany you to, I don't know, a stand-up with the Velociraptor. And we are going to all meet down in the Citadel.
Ooh.
Just need to add all the icons.
The Citadel is big.
Do I get a chance to do any of the buying of the arrows that I want?
Come again, please.
I was kind of hoping if I had the chance, I could maybe buy some fire arrows.
Of course you can. But I don't think there's like a reason to RP all of that, so you can just tell me what kind of arrows you want, and I can tell you how much money you owe me.
I just want fire arrows, because I don't think I can do psychic arrow damage.
Psychic arrows. Oof.
No.
Throw
And get-
Uncle Roger at him for emotional damage.
That's
Just 5 sandals on a stick that you can shoot.
How many arrows would you like, and how much money do you have?
I currently have 233 gold pieces.
You have 233 gold pieces. A fire arrow is 100 gold.
Okay, so is that different from the explosive arrows, or is that the same?
It is the same.
Okay. I guess I'll just buy one.
You spend €100 and you can add 1 explosive arrow to your inventory.
Quick question. So overnight we did made a long rest, I guess.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, good,
I don't-
because
I'm
then
not-
I get
I'm not
my-
Sure I'm not sure any of you used any of your class features. I think you cast a spell and that's it.
Yes, I cast Speak with Animals. That's why I've asked.
I think I used some of my abilities last session, but since we got a long rest last session, I was fine.
Hey, Ron Ron.
Oh, hi, Ronito.
Hey, Ron.
Honey,
I'm trying to find the explosive arrows that I made.
I mean, I still have 3 of them. That's why I only bought one. I only have 1 Adamite arrow. I don't know if I have the description.
I see. Well, that's fine, I can find it. Okay, explosive arrow. That one goes like this. Explosion of 15 feet radius. Creatures caught inside must succeed a DC 16 dex save or take 2d10 fire damage.
Oof.
And the other one is... Where is it?
Adamite is 1d8 plus 5 damage. That's what I have written.
Yes. Perfect. Plus 1d8 plus 5 damage, adamantine. Good, good, good. Anything else the other two of you want to do before you meet up in the Citadel?
Not really, on my end.
Yeah, me neither.
I'd say I could ask around for the child in the tavern, but I have a feeling it's not gonna be that easy.
That is an excellent idea to ask around for the child that you're supposed to be looking for.
Indeed.
Why don't you please give me a persuasion check?
Why is it always charisma?
This is why you should take me with you places, Auntie.
Look, you were welcome in the snake den. You didn't want to come.
You didn't invite me.
Did I?
So with the 15, you know that outside in the outer city of Infernito, somebody found a 1T child, which is rare since they usually live in the Undercity. That someone just so happens to be one of the Elder Council. So you know that a counselor from the outer city has adopted a 1T child that was lost. Doesn't seem to belong to anyone, doesn't seem to have any parents. It does seem to have survived the fire last night barely. And they do meet the description.
Alright, I have a lead.
Yes.
Oh, I realized there was something else I was going to do, but never mind.
Well, if you're gonna say it, you can say it now.
I was gonna see if I could, because I do have a Flora's good, probably decent at trading, and
Yeah.
I was curious if I could trade my old longbow for like um a short sword and maybe like some flammable and buy some flammable oil.
Flammable oil will be 50 gold pieces. A short sword will be 150 gold pieces.
Oof.
Yeah.
Um, the base selling price for your used longbow would be 50 gold pieces. You find a trader. How much are you trying to sell it for?
I mean, Flora's probably just trying to see if she can get like a sword
You're
in
trying to
exchange for it.
you try to get a just an exchange. You're like, okay, I would like this vial of oil, and I would like this sword, and I'm going to give you my bow for it.
Well, I'll trade the bow for the sword. I'll pay the gold for the oil.
Perfect. Then why don't you give me a persuasion check?
Okay. 17, 17, persuasion. That's a 19.
For the 19, the trader raises an eyebrow and says, "No, very well. I can see that you really want this." Um, and they're going to make an offer that you can get it at a reduced price for the longbow as well as 20 gold pieces.
So, I can get the sword for 20 gold pieces
And the
You
bow.
can get the sword for 20 gold and the bow.
and the bow. Oh,
You give them the bow, you give them 20 gold, you get a short sword.
okay. Yeah, that seems fair. I'll give them 20 gold.
I mean, it's not fair. You bought it really well.
I am very charismatic.
Evidently. Seeing how smoothly you handled the situation last night.
what? But nothing went wrong.
Also, nobody knows about this situation, so
True.
who knows?
Javier knows. Anyway, and again, the vial of flaming oil, which I think is called Alchemist's Fire in the rule book.
Yeah.
That's 50 gold pieces, please.
Okay, what's 113 minus 50?
80? No, 130 or 113?
I'm just going to use a calculator.
Good.
Oh,
9
I put
intelligence to
80.
properly do math.
Minus 50. 63 gold.
So you're down to 63 gold, is what you're telling me.
No, 63 gold.
You're down to 63 gold, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I replaced the longbow with a short sword.
Yes. You should now have a dagger, a longbow +1, and some arrows, and your alchemist's fire. If that's all you wanted to do,
Yeah, that's all.
I'd say we can get down to business to defeat the squid. Um,
Flora wanted to be well prepared.
so, Danny, Flora, you you meet with Roberto outside the entrance to the Undercity, and he walks you down some stairs, some ladders, down the sewers, through some tunnels. You meet some under citizens. Some of them wave at you and smile. Some of them give you the most hostile look you've ever seen. Though you're getting the impression that just might just be the way people look down here. At some point, he bows to you and turns back around, as he is replaced by a Wanty escort. A person you haven't seen yet. It's a very tall Wanty abomination, meaning it's got a snake body and arms. And they've got a very sleek, comfortable kind of suit of light armor that's made out of lichen. And they smile at you and give you a very polite greeting and introduce themselves as Tleani. You can introduce themselves, you don't have to. And they just kind of, they don't really walk you there because they don't have legs. They just lead you down some tunnels until you reach a large circular sphere-like aqueduct with like a little platform in the middle, as you can see on the map. Where you can already see Sassetti and Stacy standing there. Sassetti just woke you up from your bed and led you down some tunnels until you reached the sanctum, the citadel.
Pretty
Yeah,
sure
you
I brought you
can-
breakfast first as well.
Probably, yeah. You can see he's actually wearing a new set of clothes.
Stacy is pretty tense because she's surrounded by all the snakes. Of course, probably no one knows it, but you can see that she is feeling really uncomfortable down there.
And as you arrive down there, you're just waiting for you're just waiting for Tleani to arrive with your friend Flora. Farah, strangely, is nowhere to be seen. Flora, if you had asked Roberto about this, I think you might have. He would have told you that he hasn't seen her since last night.
Sus.
Sus.
That's your response, huh? Well, sucks.
No, sus.
Um,
S-U-S.
It's like an alignment chart. True neutral is sus.
True sus,
Chaotic neutral
chaotic
is
sus.
sucks, and lawful neutral is shucks. Yeah. Sassetti, you can actually see your old childhood rival Tleani arrive with your friend, and they wink at you.
I nod.
Seti tries to hiss with his crippled tongue.
And you can actually see the greatest snake you've ever seen in your entire life, Stacy, approaches you. She's wearing a very nice poncho, like a shawl, a hood around her head. You can see the head has 3 eyes. And she inclines her head towards you and gives you a hand.
Stacy looks up in fear, like with a really shocked face, and she mumbles a little bit to herself. Okay, you can do this. Take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. And you see her swallowing down a little bit of spit, but like this movement just in her throat that she's doing it. She tries to look up to the matriarch, but she stops like halfway above. She can't really look into her eyes. She reaches her hand out. She takes another deep breath, reaches for the hand, shakes it, and says, "Ha, ha, ha, Hello.
It all seems completely unfazed, but she just shakes your hand and she says, "Greetings. I'm the matriarch. I'm the matriarch of the Undercity. It is my pleasure to meet you. Stacy, right?"
She continues to stutter. I will just say it in a normal voice because I don't know how interrupting it is when I really would stutter. Yes, I'm not quite sure if I'm pleased to meet you as well. It's not really personal. It's kind of personal. I don't know how to explain it. But I also have a thing to ask. Do you have a medicine for a sick toad by any chance?
She's just trying to take in everything you've just said to her. She just kind of gives you a blank expression and says, "Why, certainly, but let us first attend to the matter at hand." And she looks over to you, Seti, and nods. "Hello."
Hello.
And then she turns to Flora and says, "My pleasure. I am the matriarch of the city. I trust you are one of Seti's companions. Flora, the ranger."
Please, if we are going by official, if we are going on official business, you might as well go on a more full name basis. You can call me Flora Stormborn.
The revelation.
"Very well, Madam Stormborn. I'm afraid I'm too old to remember my full name, though I do not entirely need it. Goran certainly doesn't." And you see the familiar purple blur of Goran as he tries to tackle Saseti out of nowhere. Saseti, please give me a dexterity saving throw.
About to say, I tried to dodge out of the way. But nope. 9. 9!
They tackle once again. You get tackled to the ground as Goran gives you a smothering hug. Says, "Saseti, there you are."
I think we're on business.
This suit really suits you.
Thank
I guess
you.
that's what they call them, that, huh? You can see the tall, slender Wanty that accompanied Flora just kind of stand off to the side, crossing their arms, flicking a tongue at you. "Now, I trust you all are familiar with another," says the matriarch. She indicates Cleone and says, "This is one of my most trusted associates. This is Cleone, and they will be accompanying you down into the sewers to take care of our problem." Goran, of course, volunteered themselves as well. If there are any more questions, if you would like to stock up on supplies, you may do so now. But we will be leaving soon.
Can I ask you a quick question, Prentice?
Me? Little old me? Yes.
Can I use the alchemist, like the alchemist fire to make a flaming sword?
You could do that exactly once.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. That's it.
This will use the fire as well as the sword, by the way.
Oh,
Neither of which will be usable afterwards.
okay. So, better not to do that then.
Oh, very well. Is there anything else the other two of you would like to do beforehand?
No, just a little bit of flavor. When Stacy saw Goran, she eases up a little bit to that she sees a familiar face, which is not a snake.
Oh,
And she's
It's
visibly a little bit happy that Goran will join the operation as well.
yes,
actually, there is one thing I wanted to do.
yes.
I want to go over to Stacy. Um, you're familiar with spells and like spell scrolls. Um, I thought it might be useful for you to have some as well, and I give her one of each scroll.
Kursa, please enter your inventory 1 scroll of Fireball, 1 scroll of Mind Rend, and 1 scroll of Guiding Bolt.
Thank you very much, Flora. The guiding bolt, I'm capable of doing it on my own, so either you can keep it or we can give it to someone else.
I'll keep it then.
Okay.
You can see Cleone takes a bit of a step back, takes out a wedding stone, and starts sharpening a very mean-looking curved short sword as they just kind of observe the 4 of you. Their eyes don't really show any kind of expression. The matriarch is the same. She's just kind of expectantly waiting for you to give the go-ahead. Goran lets go of Sassetti and then goes to give you a big hug as well, Stacy.
I happily accept the hug because now I realize that Goran is non-binary and that's very good for me.
You realize that now?
No, I realized before as well, but at first I was a bit hesitant against them. But since I know that they're a non-binary, that's good for.
Oh, because they're not a dirty man thing.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
I understand. You got 2 non-binaries accompanying you with Cleone as well as Goran.
And a dirty
And,
man thing.
well, and you got a single dirty man thing as a treat.
That's a treat.
As a treat.
As dessert.
Very well. Soon enough, you've all gathered up your things. You've sufficiently sharpened your souls and exchanged scrolls. As you make your way down a passageway that seems completely innocuous, you go a few turns. Suddenly, it appears you're in a completely different environment. The walls seem to be like decorated very intricately, though they have calmed down a lot. There's lichen covering everything. You can still see some kind of leaf motifs. Looks very elvish, kind of fairy-like. And then you go down some ladders, down some very precarious abysses, and eventually you find yourself in the entrances of some ruins. For all of you, this will be the deepest you've probably ever been.
Most
Shit.
likely. Stacy takes a look around and just watches out if she sees anything which might cause danger.
First of all, what you see is you arrive in kind of what used to be a watchtower. Basically, just the bottom walls are standing. However, the ladder that you took to get here does go a fair bit up, like a bit further than the old watchtower would have gone, into a cave, which is where you came from. The cave leads into the sewers, as well as into this whole ruined city underneath the city. You arrive at the watchtower, you take a good look around, you see some dilapidated walls, a whole lot of rubble, and what appears to be some great white root growing out of the ground in front of you. It's kind of gnarly and twisted and forked.
I'd like to nature check this probably rude.
Oh no, it's not a root at all. Roll initiative. No. I'm gonna need you to please give me a nature check.
Oh, it was almost a 19. I cry.
Oh, nope. Is it 2?
I guess I see only darkness.
I'm assuming Sassetti, you have night vision, right?
Checking if I dark vision. Normally I think so, but yeah,
I
60
know
feet
that
dark vision.
Flora, you also have dark vision, right?
Yep.
Oh, I have dark vision as well.
Perfect.
I was just really dumb.
I mean, you look at the Great White Root, and it's the darndest thing. It doesn't seem to be a root at all. It's made of rocks. That's all you can
What?
gain.
Yeah, I just say to the group, I think this before us are rocks.
Maybe I can
You look.
try
You
a
look at.
nature check.
First of all, you look at the rock that Stacy is pointing at, and it is very clearly a root of some kind of tree. Yes, please. Give me a nature check too.
Yes, the rock is made out of rock.
17.
With a 17, you do realize that it is in
Oh,
fact.
+6.
Ooh.
With a
Oh, no.
23, you know, it's a bit more complicated than that. It used to be a root, but it has since fossilized. And it used to belong to some kind of yew. That is, the tree, not the yew. Not you. You. You see. Besides that, all you see is rubble, some ruined houses, maybe what used to be barracks, as well as a half-buried chest up to your north, underneath some rubble, and a barrel down here. It seems to be still pretty much intact.
The loot goblin in me wants to go check it out, but I don't know if it's a good idea.
Do it because it's a bad idea.
Which one do you want to check out?
Before I check them out, I turn to, how is their name? From the snake?
Seti.
Annie.
And I asked them, what was this room? What was it supposed to be?
And they smile at you. Give me a persuasion check.
I have a complainy boy that really wants to go outside.
It's a 12.
This is where they used to keep scum like me out. And that's all they say. You want to give me an insight on that, or?
Yes, I want to inside check it, and with a scum like you? Question mark face.
Do I need to roll an insight or do I know?
You should roll to let your cat out, my dude.
Cat is out now. He stopped
Oh, that's
complaining
too
because he's outside now.
It's
Critical
a
fail. The
six.
cat comes back.
It's a 16 for my inside check.
Dude, you started at 16. Scum like me. They're referring to themselves as in thief, as in like invader, probably. You realize with the watchtower and the barracks surrounding you that this probably used to be like a point where the guards of the city used to live and kind of keep watch over it, where they kept out the scum. Like Annie seems to think they are.
Okay, so I take it anything we might find here doesn't really have an owner.
They smile once again.
I just take it as a yes, and with that, I go to the upper chest.
Hi, Mom G.
Go to the chest. Right. Anyone else doing anything?
Yeah, so I was wondering, like, in what way I know what they're referring to when they say scum like me.
When they say scum like me, that means scum like you, Sisete.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to double check. I would like
Well,
to.
give me an inside check anyway, please.
Inside 17.
The way they say scum about themselves seems to be a little bit different from the way they would say scum about anyone else. You've known Annie for several years now. You've never been really close. As I said, you were rivals as kids. Only, where you excelled at violence, they excelled at subtlety. So nowadays, you are just a regular operative for the Sanctum, while Annie is, in fact, a special operative. They are an assassin, a hired killer. And yeah,
I would like.
there's many different kinds of scum. Is the takeaway from today's session.
There's low scum and
Today
high
we
scum.
learned how many
Sassy
times
scum.
how many times Danny can roll, and the different types of scum.
I wanna I wanna go stealthily and scout a bit ahead of the group to see if I can spot if there's any danger coming up.
Yeah, you go ahead. Goran is right, coming after you. Considering how stout and stocky they are, they do seem to be pretty subtle and stealthy. You remember last time they did manage to just make themselves invisible.
Sure.
With a 15, you managed not to be spotted. Please give me a perception check.
Alright.
Actually, no. Give me a passive perception. No
My
need to
passive
roll.
perception is 12.
With a 12, you notice voices up ahead.
Oh man, I have 15 in passive perception.
Okay,
I
you do
tell
that.
I
Flora,
tell
what
I
do you
tell
do?
Gorham to go back and inform the others that we hear voices.
I am going to go look after Stacy in case, she sets her hammer on fire again.
My poor
Absolutely.
hammer.
But, I'm going to keep my distance. But, look after her.
Absolutely. By the way, hello Momiji and Jeff. And
Jeff, hey.
please, Flora, give me a perception check.
How many perception checks can we do in one day?
Yes.
So 13 plus perception. So that is an 18.
Meets it, beats it. You do notice Cleani just trying to disappear. And they just kind of slink away, and at some point you don't hear or see them anymore.
What a snake!
Wow, rude. It's what people you're talking about.
As you notice this, Goran comes and approaches you and says, we had some voices coming up ahead. We might want to prepare. What did you do with Annie?
I wanted to look for shinies, but okay, I leave the shinies alone.
Why? I want to see if there's shinies in there. And they go to approach the chest with eager eyes. You never know what might be up ahead, so maybe what's in here can help us.
Yeah, that was my intention, and also I don't want to waste precious things.
Exactly. So, do you try to open the chest?
Yes, I want to open the chest. The chest.
You don't want to give me you don't want to check for traps or anything at all.
No, I'm just oblivious to the fact that it might be trapped because it's abandoned and it was just to leave scum out. Stacy's just like, oh, what bad can happen?
Good point. I mean, whoever might have owned that chest is probably long dead. However, you do find that it's locked.
guess it's hammer time. Stacy takes out her hammer and tries to open up the chest with the hammer.
This lock
Don't
can't
set your
stop me.
hammer on fire again.
Okay. You crack open the cold one, and what you find is just a nice piece of cloth, like a cape of some kind.
Oh, that
Please,
is a piece,
please
yes.
add to your inventory Cloak of Nis. You don't know what it does yet.
Or what a nis is.
This looks nice. I will put it in my backpack, as Daisy says, and put this cloak of Nis into her backpack.
Well, you are in the dead city of Nisithalat. So, it's probably short for that. Maybe. Who knows?
Nah, that would make too much sense.
Goran, of course, looks at the coat and says, "Oh, that's a beautiful coat. It's a bit long for me, though. I'm sure it will look great on you."
Thank you, Goran. You're nice.
I tried. And I presume with that you're going to, not you, go away. You're going to follow Sassetti up ahead.
I did notice, Tilly and sneak off, right?
You did notice them sneak off, yes.
Can I see if I can look after, try to search after them? Is that a bad idea?
Yes. If you give me a survival check, please.
Roll a what?
Survival.
Okay.
Survival.
Good, I have decent survival. So that is a total of 18.
Well, you follow the tracks. You notice a lot of gravel on the ground from travelers who came here and just kind of carried it with them. A bit of sand. Some scales of what appears to be snakes. Like sheddings. Underneath it's just cold stone, and at some point you see that the tracks just lead into nothing. However, you deduct that they climbed some of the nearby rubble and are scouting ahead.
I won't go after them any further.
So, will you join the rest of your party?
Can I check the barrel?
Check the barrel.
Very good.
Very good.
Barrel good.
Barrel. Yeah, please give me a perception check. Since you love doing those.
Do I love doing them, or do you love making me do them?
I can't see the difference. What did you
Dirty
roll?
20.
The dirty 20?
Yeah.
The dirty 20, you actually notice that there's like a little etching on the barrel. You know that it's been tampered with. And maybe in some ways that are less wholesome.
I'm gonna call out to Sassy.
Hey, Sassy Seti,
Nah.
you hear that? You gonna react to it at all?
Depends on how the voices react when I hear that, if they hear it as well.
Goran's oars prick up and they turn around to look at Flora.
Is Sassy gonna like respond or anything?
We'll see.
Now I will. I will step a bit
How do you
back
respond?
indeed.
So you're gonna go back to the barrel
Yes,
to check out what Flora was on about.
indeed. What's up?
Hi, Loneliest.
Hi, Lona, yes.
Loneliest.
Lonello.
good with, figuring out tampered stuff like traps and stuff. Could you maybe work out how to solve the tampering that I suspect is on this barrel?
I'll have a look. But in the meantime, I hope someone's taking note of the voices I'm hearing up front. If they're not going to surprise us.
Yeah, good point actually. Stacy, why don't you give me an insight check?
Alrighty. Wow.
Yep.
It sounds like it might have been a familiar language, but you can't make out the dialect at all. You can't really make out an intention either. It sounds like they're just kind of talking about their day, but in a very ominous way. But no more than that.
I whispered my hearings to Goran.
And Goran nods at this sagely and says, yes. Meanwhile, Saseti, are you trying to untrap the barrel?
Yes, trying to figure out how the trap works so I can untrap it.
Great! Please give me a perception check.
Oof, thank God. Oh, nope, nope. Wah, wah, wah.
Womp womp. I don't know, seems like a normal barrel.
Yeah, let's open it, I guess.
You go to open it.
Why does this happen every time? A chest is trapped. The chest is clearly trapped. I'll check how it. Oh, it's not trapped at all. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna
You
give you
think
one more
he'd get advantage because I told him, like, it's clearly tampered with. Like, showed him how it was tampered.
No, he ran into this.
What mean red? I even checked to see how it was tampered with. It's like, nope, nope. Clearly isn't.
I'm gonna give you an orange branch. Saseti, as you go to open the barrel, to uncork it, to open the lid. You remember your conversation with your old master, and you pause for a second. Please give me an insight check.
Oh, 7.
I mean, obviously, why would they trap a barrel here? I mean, it's not like anyone is using it.
Exactly.
And you go to open it. Please, Flora and Saseti, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, that's better. 16. I hope I didn't kill Flora now.
So, do I add my my proficiency?
If you're
Or just
proficient in
straight
dex saving throws.
I'm
Dexterity
proficiency
Yeah.
and dexterity.
Yeah, you get your proficiency doubled. No, you just add it. You just add your proficiency to that save, yeah.
Okay, I get 25.
She's
Yeah,
fine.
25?
Yeah.
Both of you successfully dodge out of the way as the barrel explodes with a bright white light.
Oh no.
And it is reduced to ash once you look back.
But what exactly disharmony it setting?
I have no idea what happened.
Meanwhile,
Goran hears the commotion. I assume Stacey too, and you just both come running over. And Goran says, "Stacey, what did you do?"
Ta-da!
I say to Goran, somehow I knew that we fucked it up.
Yeah. Well, you know how it is. You trigger a trap, you make a whole bunch of noise, and any attempts of stealth are now completely failed. So I'm going to need all of you to roll initiative for me, please.
Oh, come on! Oh,
I'm not much better.
oh.
15. I got 19.
Why are the dice like, no, we don't play today. We suffer.
I'm being very lucky. I got a 15 plus 4, so that's 19. Oh, Chip died.
Rip Chip.
Good luck tanking Flora.
I'm not tanking.
We have Goran for this. Goran will save us.
Yes, in Goran we trust.
Yeah, I
So,
got a 19, by the way.
19, that's very good.
I can't update
So,
it.
I'm just gonna. You
And
got a.
I'll start the combat music. Because I'm assuming we're starting combat.
You can roll the thinking music as Francis tries to figure out the initiative and how to put it in.
Thinking.
I don't have thinking music. I have combat, I have tense, and I have chill.
Look at this group, there's clearly not a single thought happening.
Absolutely not.
Thank you for the follow, Momiji.
Orange is not always on your side. No, in fact,
It's-
fucking never.
Indeed, my no thinking only fight yet, that's supposed to be setting.
I have been so lucky. I really hope my luck holds.
Oh, thanks for this. Thanks for the gift up, lowliest.
Yeah.
Now that Filani doesn't has all the luck just switched over to Danny, and we are just sitting here like, oh no, we are just some 10-int people in a 11-int world.
Oh, 10 int, I'm 9 int.
I'm actually 14
Okay, I'm at
intelligence.
13, but
Yeah, I'm 14 int.
How much int did I give Goran? Goran! 8.
Look, in Barbie lore, Seti is definitely a Ken.
Yeah, you know how it is. Very well. You are in fact, all of you, surprised. Unless one of you has a class feature that they can't be surprised, which I don't think is the case. Not even for Goran, who is a barbarian. And schmuck number 1 is going to make a ranged attack against you, Stacy.
wow.
17 hit.
Unfortunately, yes.
You take 3 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, that's fine.
Goran is also going to receive a ranged attack, which will not hit. And the last schmuck is also going to do a ranged attack against Goran. With a 12, which will... not hit either. So, that will bring us back to the top. Flora, you can't see your attackers.
Oh,
You just kind of know where they are.
can I move to like a range where I can see them, but I also get like high ground?
You have to know they are stealthed.
Okay.
So, spotting them will require you to make a perception check, which is an action. You can move up to the root. That's cool. Like here.
Okay, so there's stealth, so I need to make a perception check.
Yes.
The cackling.
Oh. Okay, my perception. 17 plus 5. That's a 22.
You'd immediately spot the schmuck standing down there at the entrance who were talking earlier. You can see they are in fact wearing the maroon robes of the Order of the Crooked Man, which is something you are vaguely familiar with. It's like the premier religion in this city. The Archbishop got arrested this morning.
How much
Right.
movement do I have?
That was this
left?
morning.
That was last morning, you're right. You have no movement left.
Because I think Goran and Stacy are still in 100 feet range. I don't think I can. No, that's also not a bonus action.
You have your bonus action left, yes.
Yes. I'll cast Zephyr Strike. It's my bonus action.
Okay. So, for the rest of the turn, you still have 30. Wait,
No, I don't
no, you have to
get.
attack somebody first, right?
Yeah. The for now I just I don't get they don't have opportunity attacks on me.
Okay, as you run over to the root, you can see the schmucks turn it. You can see it's, three very scrawny elf dudes. Who look like locals. They have, like, brown skin, dark hair, and bright amber eyes. And that is your turn. Goran, Gor is going to get slowly get close to the direction of the ranged attacks, which might have just been pebbles being thrown at you guys. And as soon as they see the maroon robes, they start raging. So they're going to use the bonus action to rage. And you know, earlier, Stacy, when you said that you were glad that they were the only non-snake person surrounded by a bunch of snakes,
Yes.
that's very funny because they're going to turn into a snake person now. Goran lets out a blood-curdling scream as they grow a tail and scales all over their body, and their face turns to like a very snake-like face. And their
Stacy
hands are
chuckles in irony.
and their hands and their fingers turn into long curved claws. So that was 20 feet. I can move another 2 feet over here. And that was the bonus action. They're going to use their action to bite at one of the schmucks. Which will be this. Which will hurt them, and then the damage will be... Hang on. Hmm. 1d8 plus 1d4 plus 3. Okay. 12. As they immediately jump at one of the schmucks, dig their long fangs into their throat, and they die. Womp womp. And that is going to be their turn. Stacy, what do you do?
Stacy still doesn't know who or what is attacking them, right? So
no. You just know that whatever it is, it made Goran very angry.
okay. And I still don't really see them either, right? So I can't not just like guiding bolt them immediately.
You can't. No, you can't.
Yeah, I thought as much. So then I need to check how much. Okay. I turn back to Seti
Yes.
and say to him, please, by Mother Nature, don't fuck it up. So I cast guidance on him.
Wow.
How nice of you. How considerate. So, is that your turn?
Yes, that is my turn.
So,
Well,
this
one of
schmuck is
them's
fucking
dead.
Schmuck number 2 is going to dash and then fucking book it. So, 4, 4, 4. And they're not going to do anything else. Schmuck number 3 is going to face Goran and take out the little dagger and try to slice them. Which is going to be... Which is going to miss. As Snake Goran expertly avoids the attack and starts hissing and screaming at the Schmuck. And now our favorite Schmuck, Sassetti, it's your turn.
Favorite schmuck, wow. Demanding. I can move up 40 feet, so I think with that, not the right. What's this ruler thingy? I can get up to here.
You can move 40 feet.
I can move 40 feet, because I'm a monk.
Damn, Mom lets you move 40 feet.
Ah, yes.
You move up next to Goran, you see that they are in fact facing off against a very low-ranking cleric. One of them is just a bloody pile on the ground.
I take the +1 dagger, and
Ooh.
I try to shank.
You shank him.
Yes.
Give me the roll.
Whew. Wait, that's plus guidance, so that's another d4 I add. If I'm not mistaken.
Which one of them is the
The to
attack
hit
roll,
is
which
the
one of them
8.
is the damage roll? He adds the attack roll.
Yeah, so I had the guidance adds an 4, so it's 12 to hit.
Will hit.
And so then it's 5 piercing damage.
You shank him, and he doesn't even offer a lot of resistance. It's like you're stabbing a bag of potatoes. And he yelps as if in infernal pain.
Ooh.
Is that your turn?
Nope. Then I use my bonus action to use my key points and do a flurry of blows. Twice with my fists. Punch them.
Okay, punch him.
6 is gonna miss, and 9 is also gonna miss.
Yes.
Oof.
What are these rolls?
How do you
Oh,
know they would miss?
because they're all below 10.
Did I say the AC was 10?
No, I just automatically presume if it's below 10 it misses, unless it's a zombie.
That's very wise of you. You do in fact miss. It is as though, quickened by the sudden violence of you stabbing them in the goddamn face, they suddenly know how to dodge. It's like in Dark Souls where you just tank the first 2 hits and then you know, this is how they attack. Oh no. Well, Flora, it's back to your turn now.
Okay, how far away is the one that's running away from me?
Scholarly
again, please.
murderous.
The one that's running away.
Good question, let me find out real quick. They are in fact 15 meters away from you. Your range should be 60, I think.
Yeah.
50 feet, sorry, not 60, not 15 meters. So, what's it gonna be?
Well, good thing I bought a sword then, because otherwise I'd be at disadvantage with my bow. So, I'm going to use my 15 feet of movement to go up to him and slash them with my sword.
Okay. Yeah, please give me the roll. Attack him.
Yeah.
By the way, that is d20 plus dexterity plus proficiency, since you should be proficient in short swords.
Sorry, what?
You roll me a d20 plus your dexterity modifier plus your proficiency, since you should be proficient in short swords.
Okay.
Same as with your bow, basically. You roll the same thing as with your bow.
Does a 21 hit?
Yes.
Okay, then I do I need to find a d6. 'Cause I was not prepared. Or I can just roll on here.
What's your dexterity at again? 16?
Um, my dexterity is 18.
Right? 18.
Yeah.
Okay, you just add 4 to the d6.
Yeah, that's what's. Oh, did I do it wrong? I did I do that right?
Oh no, you just put /r space and then 1d6 plus 4.
/r 1d. Because I don't know if I have a d6.
What I put in chat just now.
Okay.
You deal 10 damage. Yeah, you slash into him, and much like the one that Sassetti just attacked, this one lets out a blood-curdling scream as you wound him badly. He already looks to be in really bad shape.
I don't know if there's any, like, because I now have more movement.
Yeah,
I'm
you
trying to
now have an
think.
extra. You now have 45 feet of movement left.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of what I can do for bonus action. Because I can't do Thunderclap because that's an action.
You have your bonus action left.
Yeah, and if I use Hunter's Mark, that's using up my last spell slot.
Yes.
So, guess I'll just kind of hop back like 20, 45 feet.
Wait, so
Like on the route.
like here?
Uh, like in between where Gorin is. Like in between the enemies.
Here?
I didn't see where you pointed.
If you hold down your mouse, your left mouse button, you can do a little marker like this. There, that's where you want to go.
Yeah. 45 feet, like there-ish.
Okay, which means the schmuck is going to get an attack of opportunity. Actually,
Poor
no.
Tuck. No.
He gets out his knife and furiously attacks you as you try to get away, and then stumbles and actually drops his dagger. As he cries out in frustration. And with that, we're going to go back to Snake Goron. Goron is going to turn the bloodthirsty snake eyes over to the schmuck in front of them and bite them once again. Which should be this. So, with a 16, it will hit. And they're going to do this amount of damage. It is even worse to see up close, Seti, as you see Goran jump on the chest of this little schmuck. Goran, of course, is a tiny person, so it looks just kind of like an oversized lizard attacking this poor man. And he immediately tears into his throat and rips it out with his bare teeth. He is very, very dead. As Goran lets out another blood-curdling scream. Stacy, it's your turn.
Oh, the creature still lives? Oh, I was
No,
not
wait,
expecting that.
wait. Okay. One is still alive. It's the one up on the roof.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
The one that I, slash.
Hmm. I can't really reach this schmuck with any of my things because I think I still don't really see them, right?
What's your passive perception?
It's 15.
Well, at this point, they have already left stealth, so you would be able to see him up there.
Ah, okay, good. Then I need to check. 40 feet, okay.
You do have low ground, so if you try to make a ranged attack or spell attack, it's going to be at disadvantage.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
No, I think I leave my good guiding bolts for the bigger fight. I just shout at the schmuck, "Ha! You're just too scared. Just come at us."
What? You don't have any honor? You come here and ambush us? We're just hiding out here. We're just helpless little guys. He starts crying.
Okay,
Oh.
and then Stacy's like, "Hold on, you are hiding in here?"
Can
Oh
it-
yeah, of course, the entire city's gone crazy. They say we abduct people, and now they're all after us.
To the group I say, maybe we should not further pursue this creature and maybe just talk with them?
From the sounds of it, it sounds like they're from the Order of the Crooked Man.
Essentially, do you have anything to say to that?
Can I see from their outfits or anything if they are actually related to the Crooked Man? Or-
Yes.
They definitely are.
They were long, simple maroon robes.
Hmm. Does this... Hmm. I just asked them, do you know who took us last time?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Just keep that thing away from me. And he points at Goran. Goran looks at him and lets out another howl. You're getting the impression that Goran probably doesn't want to negotiate here.
That can only happen if you can convince him to let you go. And
bit
that will
standard,
require
so.
information.
Yeah, Stacy or shouts, if it's up to me, you can live, but I think Goran needs a little bit more of convincing.
Mhm.
Is that your turn, Stacy?
Yes, this is my turn. I just talk smack.
You use vicious mockery as a druid.
Am I right in assuming that the other two want to drop initiative?
Yeah, it's not really an initiative, but I'd like to get closer and intimidate them into giving what they
Okay,
know.
so you want to stay in combat.
No, I just want to intimidate them. Depends
Okay,
with
so
the
you're out
threat
of
of
combat.
Gorum.
Can I remove a turn here? Nope, I could just skip you.
Yeah, just skip me.
So schmuck number 2 is actually going to once again dash and then run away. Trying to get as far away from you as possible. Nope. Whoop. Flora, are you still in combat?
Yes.
Okay, what do you do?
I can I shoot them in the knee?
Yeah, you can make a non-lethal attack.
So, D20.
Yeah, just a regular attack. But if you down them to 0 hit points, you just knock them unconscious instead.
So I roll my regular stuff.
Yes, but since you're using a longbow +1, please remember that you have a +1 to your roll.
I once was a member of the Crooked Men, but then I took an arrow to the knee.
Okay. Uh, 22.
That will hit.
Okay. And then 1d8.
That would be a 1d8 +5, please.
Yeah, 7 plus 5.
12. You hit them in the knee, and he immediately goes limp and falls to the ground and screams out in pain. And combat is in fact over. Well done. Goran,
I
kind
guess
of
I
goes on
should
all
turn
fours and
off the
sprints
combat
over to
music
the-
then.
But to
sprints
say,
over to...
quite intense.
Okay, Flora, what did you say?
Oh, sorry, I'm clearing the combat music.
Thank you. Seti, what did you say?
Well, we would have some questions for you, and if my compatriot doesn't like your answers, I cannot be held accountable for directions.
I want to search the two other schmucks before I go to the incaptivated schmuck. Do they have like some nice shinies with them? Or like some
Wow.
papers where there are orders written down to see if the schmuck is really telling the truth that they were hiding?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Why don't you give me a survival check?
Yes!
Yes!
Not really.
Criticals.
The knees were the hardest, says Loneliest. That is very true. However, you do not find their heart or their knee, but you do find a pamphlet that's signed by somebody called the Grand Inquisitor. It says it tells clerics to go into hiding as the city guard have started pursuing clerics all across the city.
And with this pamphlet, I go to the group and show it to them so we can discuss what we made of this.
Can I have Flora do stuff now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Flora go over and like draw her short sword and kind of hold it against their neck.
Oh, gnarly. Yeah, you do that. Goran at this point turns back into the regular dwarf self. And just kind of scowls at the cleric with crossed arms. So, and the cleric is just kind of whining in pain, like, oh, my knee, oh, it hurts.
Have we any way to inform Roberto or someone of the guard so we can take this cleric to the, and now she makes air quotation marks, questioning room?
If you're so inclined, Stacy, I'm sure we can escort them back out of here. Unfortunately, one of us will have to leave.
I don't see why we can't just question them here and now.
Exactly my thinking. They step a little bit closer to the cleric. The cleric starts smelling The cleric starts smelling of urine.
Poor cleric.
Stacy just said, I think someone is leaking.
Oh, shut up! You'd be leaking too. Oh man, what have I got myself into this time?
Stacy, we spent how many days in the dungeon? A couple?
I
Stacy
think,
spent. Wait,
yeah.
just in retrospect, Stacy spent one night. You, Sassetti, spent 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Floor
Okay.
spent none.
None, yeah. I remember spending a couple of weeks in one of your dungeons. Getting beaten. Tortured. I did
swear
not
to the
leak
Lord,
once,
please.
I'm pretty sure of that.
Please, I don't know anything about that. I'm just a cleric.
And you clerics know nothing of the workings of your own system.
If the Inquisition did try to torture you, I have nothing to do with it. I'm not with the Inquisition. I'm just a regular cleric. You have to believe me.
Then
I have
explain
nothing
to
to
us
lose. You
the
already killed my 2
difference.
friends. Sorry.
Explain me the difference. Slowly.
In simple words, please.
Yes.
You can see the cleric is slowly bleeding out, and he goes, "What? I don't have the time. They quickly explain to you that the Inquisition was formed sometime after the faith itself became very popular in Maracas. Um, Basically, there's 3 different parts. There's the clergy, there's the executors, and there's the Inquisition. The clergy is just responsible for bookkeeping, for the education and the indoctrination of new members. A lot of clerics are teachers in the city, or healers in temples. Executors are more like battle clerics that patrol the streets and try to hunt down people who have, violated the faith or attacked other clergymen. The Inquisition is one step above that. They're basically the secret police of the faith. No one really knows what they do, but it is rumored that they abduct and torture people to find out what they want to find out. They're very obsessed with hunting down fairies and demons and other outsiders. You of course know that these aren't just rumors because they did in fact capture and torture you.
Does
It's
the
very feasible that
Inquisition,
low-ranking clerics wouldn't know anything about that. Yeah, cool stuff.
do they have a symbol or something which, oh gosh, what is the English word? Erkennungsmerkmal?
Uh,
What
simple
now?
icon is a pretty good word for that already.
Okay, yeah,
Some kind of detail in the clothing, some kind of emblem.
okay.
The faith itself uses. I wrote lore about this. Let me look it up.
Yeah, so
Ah.
nevertheless, I wanted to check then their clothes to see if the symbol is stitched on there somewhere, so we can be sure that they are really just a clergy and not from the Inquisition.
Well, you check their garments. You find a little stitching pattern in right above their heart, and it depicts a dove with a broken wing, which you realize is the standard the standard symbol of the order. Nothing more than that that would maybe implicate them to be somebody in the Inquisition. Let me just find that.
Okay, I say to the group, from just judging their garbs, it looks like they say the truth about their occupation with the Order of the Crooked Man.
I start to treat the blood wound.
Yeah. Please give me a medicine check.
Do be warned, I'm not good at it. I just try.
And I still
And
have
now
a
the
sword
nat
to their
20 will
throat.
coming.
No, 17 though.
Ooh, almost.
You manage to rip off some of the rope and use it as a bandage to staunch the bleeding. The arrow in their knee isn't actually that bad. Just kind of pull it out. It hurts. They start screaming again, and one look from you is enough to shut them up already. They're probably gonna need the attention of an actual medic soon if they want to take care of the gash across their chest. But for now, they are stable.
Can I have Flora talk now?
Yes.
Sure.
I don't see why we should be merciful to this person. Even if they're not in the Inquisition, they're still part of the Order, and they have done so much harm to my people. I just don't understand why we should give them mercy when they haven't given my people mercy. I kind of press my sword kind of closer, but I don't cut.
And they say, "Wait! What's your people?"
Stacy jumps in and say, "Elves, of course. Look at me. You've abducted me."
Attack.
I'm an elf too, you idiot! Ah!
Stacy has nothing more to say.
What is going on here? Who are you people anyway?
Get to the chopper. Can I'm not going to stand in between Flora and the person, but I am going to approach Flora and try to put my hand on her shoulder if I may.
Laura?
I give like a seething glare and kind of like try to. I keep my position, but I'm like kind of like no, back off. Clear.
Okay, so you take your knife off of the throat.
No, I keep my knife on their throat, but like I'm trying to tell society to back off.
Oh, right.
So like
You're doing the
glaring,
opposite of
but
what I
like
thought
I'm
you were
not
doing.
trying to move.
Yeah. I back off a bit and I say, I cannot understand any of how it feels, except I can only know how it feels to be treated like being less than others. I will not take this away from you if you need this, but
Please,
I don't think revenge will break the circle of bloodshed.
please. I used to teach small children. I can change. I can leave the order. I haven't hurt anyone yet. God damn it, my mum was in the order. Of course I joined. Why wouldn't I join? For me, it was
Alright.
only ever the faith.
Francis,
Yeah.
I would like to make a deal with them.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. If you truly leave the order, all of it behind, completely forego it, never bring any attachments to ever again, completely leave it all behind, we will let you go, and I will give you some medical care. Do we have a deal?
Yes. Yes, please.
Is it a... So have I created a deal?
Are you asking them or are you asking me?
I'm asking you, Francis.
Oh, totally.
Okay. Then I put away my sword and get out my healer's kit.
Are you gonna do another, are you gonna attempt to, close the wound?
Yeah.
Okay, give me the medicine check.
Okay. That's a 19.
With a 19, you manage to successfully close the wound. It's not a clean stitch, and he will not stop shivering and whimpering, but you managed to heal him up just right. And you can tell by looking in his eyes that he is a changed man.
Remember our deal. I will know if you break it. Now go.
Yes, yes. And he squirms away. Squirmy, squirmy, squirm. You hear an audible groan from Goran as they say, "Very well. That's one little shitface who gets to live." And they give you a serious look, Flora. I hope you know what you're doing.
I do.
So.
Goran, you scared the shit out of me.
Well, I'd say with that, we can all get out of character and end the session proper for today. And we can get into the discussion if you have any points you would like to bring up.
Time for the Q&A.
Time for the Q&A.
I think it's
Players, I am open for questions.
no. I think it was quite funny what happened when I just didn't choose any of my attacking actions and screamed at the smug. I have not expected this turn of events, but it was really funny. It was nice to play it out.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah.
Before anyone asks, no, this was not the encounter I planned for today.
I think
Well,
you
I
were
said it would be
hoping
very
we'd
fun.
get to the
To the
sewer
sprint.
monster,
Yeah, I did.
but I got sidetracked.
Question from Jeff: did anyone expect the Inquisition?
Well,
No
certainly
one.
the cleric.
Yeah, true. I did not expect to understand the Inquisition. I'm now so afraid of Flora. All the dark stuff around that.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this thread unravel. Now I'm kinda glad that I did not join Flora to go to Javier. At first I was a little bit sad because yeah, it was an interesting story. And
Yeah.
I think with Stacy at there too, there might have been some other endings to this part, but yeah,
it might
I
have been you
mean,
with a dagger in your chest.
probably yeah. I mean, Stacy's clumsy. We all know that.
Whoops! Who left a dagger in my chest? That's clumsy me.
Also, I'm glad you all indulge me in introducing as many problematic baby girls as possible. There's so many leads who might be the big bad evil dude.
I'm putting my money on Fire at this moment.
Fun fact, the order of characters that I created for this campaign, because what I did was, the campaign started out with a single character idea, and I just developed the setting from there. And in that order, not Tom came first,
Ah.
and then it was Goodman. So maybe that tells you a few things.
And then I throw a whole mixed bag in it by throwing you a ton of Fey lore.
Yeah, you also brought me a bunch of characters, and I can make more characters to play off of that.
Mhm.
And here I just am. I'm a snake. I'm a snake. I'm a sneaky snake.
You don't even
you
know
know.
half of it.
Yeah, I gotta go play a game of woods and roll a ton.
Yeah, but I think I try to, or Stacy tries to go back to Javier one more time because I want to know more about the name in my armor.
Right.
Well, we don't know if he's alive anymore.
That's true. That Stacy doesn't know that, but she tries to come back to Javier one more time. But yeah, she doesn't really want to join Flora because she kind of suspected that there will be talk about the person Flora is after, and Stacy knows that this is a real dear topic to Flora, and she didn't want to interfere too much because she felt a little bit that she already knows a bit too much. And yeah, because Stacy and Flora aren't yet so close, or like they don't know each other too well, so she felt a little bit too much intruding into this topic, and she wanted to give Flora space.
I like how so far it seems like Flora and Stacey are really building up the friendship arc. When initially we wanted Seti and Stacey to build up the friendship arc.
I think Stacy can be friends with many people. Also, how do you know you haven't already met the person Flora is looking for, huh?
Ah,
I don't know.
that's true.
I mean, maybe I or Stacy knows the person with another name because Mistel doesn't ring a bell, or like the other explain or characterizations she heard so far, they seem to not be familiar. So who knows? We will
Yeah.
see.
I also thought it was interesting that Javier lay dying, and Flora's first impulse was, "Hey, what about my bird though? Is my buddy okay? I don't give a fuck about you. What about my bird?"
Ruthless.
Well, like they were dying. He was dying, so it's like, is it too late for them as well? Because like I want to see if I could save them. Because if I can't save Javier, then at least I can save Mistel.
You can at least save your bird, yeah.
Yeah, and that would sure be sweet with like, how do you want me to like deal with your body?
Yeah, that's very pragmatic, very Flora, yes.
You know, she can be nice and scary.
In her own way, yeah. It's funny. I kind of thought Seti would be the scary one, but in the end, I think I was just a fool. Obviously, it was always going to be Flora.
Yes,
Apparently.
Seti is just a himbo.
Seti's just a funny little dude.
Yep. A funny little
Flora's
snake in a
just
funny
caught
little.
up into way too much.
Hmm. Well, if there's no more questions, I think we're good to call it for tonight. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Thank you for playing with me once more.
Thank you for making another fun session for us.
Yes. Thank you for making me roll a lot.
I know you love it.
Hey, claps. A lot of claps.
Yeah. It was a pretty cool session. Thank you very much.
And I will see all of you in August.
In August.
Oh, in
Ooh.
August?
August.
Not the 4th of July?
We're gonna talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, see you then.
We have scope scheduling to talk about. Alright, thanks everyone for joining, and I hope to be back tomorrow for the Chaos Crew Mondays. That's also something to need to be talked about, I guess.
Yeah, I probably no, not probably. I won't make it. I have to go to football training because we moved a little bit of our schedule next week.
No. How dare you?
That's alright.
Dang,
Alright.
real life.
Yeah, fuck real life. We don't need that here. Thank you everyone for joining us. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.